Hollywood is famous for glamour, fame, and million-dollar movies. But behind the bright lights lies a darker side, stories of actors whose deaths were surrounded by mystery, unanswered questions, and shocking rumors. From legendary stars found dead under strange circumstances to tragic accidents that many believe were not accidents at all, these are 17 Hollywood actors whose deaths still spark controversy today. Marilyn Monroe. In August 1962, Hollywood icon Marilyn Monroe was found dead in her Los Angeles home at just 36 years old. The official cause of death was ruled a probable suicide due to a barbiturate overdose. But the circumstances surrounding her death sparked decades of speculation. Monroe had close connections with powerful figures, including politicians and influential Hollywood executives. Some believe she knew secrets that made powerful people nervous. Others point to inconsistencies in the timeline of events the night she died. Phone calls reportedly disappeared, and witnesses gave conflicting statements. While authorities closed the case as a suicide, conspiracy theories continue to circulate. To this day, many fans believe Marilyn Monroe's death was far more complicated than the official story suggests. George Reeves. George Reeves, famous for playing Superman in the 1950s television series, died in 1959 from a gunshot wound to the head. His death was officially ruled a suicide, but many people have questioned that conclusion. Reeves was reportedly depressed about his career and personal life, yet several details at the scene raised doubts. Friends claimed he seemed hopeful about future projects. There were also inconsistencies involving the gun and the position of the body. Some witnesses changed their stories over time, fueling speculation that something darker may have happened that night. Over the years, investigators and journalists have revisited the case, but the truth remains uncertain. George Reeves' death continues to spark debate among Hollywood historians and conspiracy theorists alike. Sharon Tate. Sharon Tate's death in 1969 shocked the entire world. The young actress, who was 8 months pregnant, was brutally murdered in her Los Angeles home during a horrific attack carried out by members of the Manson family cult. The crime quickly became one of the most infamous tragedies in Hollywood history. Charles Manson and his followers believed they were starting a violent revolution. Although the killers were eventually captured and convicted, the shocking brutality of the crime left deep scars on the film industry. Sharon Tate was only 26 years old and had a promising career ahead of her. Her tragic death symbolized the dark end of the 1960s Hollywood era and remains one of the most disturbing crimes ever connected to the entertainment industry. Bruce Lee. Martial arts legend Bruce Lee died suddenly in 1973 at just 32 years old while at the peak of his fame. The official cause of death was cerebral edema, a swelling of the brain reportedly triggered by a reaction to pain medication. However, fans around the world struggled to accept that explanation. Lee was known for his incredible physical condition, which made the sudden death even more shocking. Over the years, theories emerged suggesting everything from secret societies to rival martial arts groups could have been involved. Some believed he knew powerful secrets about the industry or martial arts world. Although medical experts maintain the official explanation, Bruce Lee's mysterious and sudden passing still fuels speculation decades later. Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee, the son of Bruce Lee, died tragically in 1993 while filming the movie The Crow. During a scene involving a prop gun, a tragic mistake occurred when a projectile struck him in the abdomen. Despite emergency surgery, he died hours later at just 28 years old. The incident shocked Hollywood and raised serious concerns about safety on film sets. Some fans found it eerie that both Bruce Lee and his son died young under unusual circumstances. Conspiracy theories quickly spread online, suggesting the Lee family was somehow cursed or targeted. However, investigations concluded the tragedy was the result of a fatal accident involving improperly prepared prop equipment. Brandon Lee's death remains one of the most heartbreaking on-set tragedies in Hollywood history. River Phoenix. River Phoenix was one of the most talented young actors of his generation. In 1993, the 23-year-old collapsed outside a nightclub in Los Angeles and later died from a drug overdose. The club was owned by actor Johnny Depp, and the shocking incident happened in front of several celebrities. Phoenix had struggled with substance abuse despite his clean public image and environmental activism. His death shocked fans who believed he had a long and brilliant career ahead. While authorities ruled it an accidental overdose, many questioned how such a promising star fell so deeply into addiction. River Phoenix's tragic passing became a symbol of the darker side of Hollywood fame and the pressures young stars often face. Heath Ledger. In 2008, actor Heath Ledger was found dead in his New York apartment at age 28. The cause of death was determined to be an accidental overdose of prescription medications. Ledger had recently completed his now legendary performance as the Joker in The Dark Knight. Some fans speculated that the intense role had taken a psychological toll on him. Friends revealed he had struggled with insomnia and exhaustion during the film's production. Although investigators concluded the death was accidental, the tragedy deeply shocked the film industry. Ledger's performance later earned him a posthumous Academy Award. His sudden death remains one of the most heartbreaking losses in modern Hollywood. Paul Walker. Paul Walker, best known for the Fast and Furious franchise, died in a car crash in 2013. The actor was a passenger in a high-performance sports car driven by his friend Roger Rodas. The vehicle lost control and crashed into a tree before bursting into flames. Investigations concluded the car was traveling at extremely high speed at the time of the accident. Walker's death devastated fans around the world who admired his humble personality and charity work. Despite the official explanation, some conspiracy theories appeared online questioning whether the crash involved mechanical issues or outside factors. Authorities ultimately confirmed it was a tragic accident, but the sudden loss of the beloved actor left a lasting impact on Hollywood. Anton Yelchin. Anton Yelchin, known for his role in the Star Trek reboot films, died in 2016 in a shocking accident outside his home. The 27-year-old actor was pinned between his Jeep Grand Cherokee and a security gate. Investigators discovered the vehicle had rolled backward down the driveway after being left in neutral. The tragedy led to widespread safety concerns about the vehicle's gearshift design. Automaker Fiat Chrysler later recalled thousands of similar vehicles. Yelchin was considered one of Hollywood's most promising young actors, and his sudden death shocked the industry. Friends and colleagues described him as incredibly talented and kind. His passing remains one of the most tragic and unusual accidents involving a modern Hollywood star. James Dean. James Dean became one of Hollywood's most iconic stars despite a career that lasted only a few years. In 1955, at just 24 years old, he died in a tragic car crash while driving his Porsche 550 Spider in California. Dean had a passion for racing and often pushed his cars to their limits. On the day of the accident, he was heading to a racing event when his car collided with another vehicle at an intersection. The crash instantly turned him into a legend, freezing his image forever as the rebellious youth of the 1950s. Some fans later speculated about strange events connected to the wrecked car, claiming parts of it were cursed after the crash. While investigators ruled the death a tragic accident caused by speed and road conditions, James Dean's sudden passing shocked Hollywood and created one of the most enduring myths in film history. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman was widely regarded as one of the greatest actors of his generation. In February 2014, the Academy Award winner was found dead in his New York apartment at the age of 46. Authorities determined the cause of death was acute mixed drug intoxication, primarily involving heroin along with several prescription medications. Hoffman had openly struggled with addiction for years, though he had previously gone through periods of recovery. In the months leading up to his death, friends reported that he had recently relapsed after many years of sobriety. The discovery of drugs and syringes in his apartment painted a heartbreaking picture of a battle he had been fighting privately. Hollywood mourned the loss of a performer known for his incredible range and dedication to his craft. His sudden death shocked fans and colleagues alike, reminding the world how addiction can affect even the most talented and successful individuals. Brittany Murphy. Brittany Murphy was a beloved actress known for films like Clueless and 8 Mile. In December 2009, she suddenly collapsed in her Los Angeles home and was rushed to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead at just 32 years old. The official cause of death was ruled pneumonia combined with anemia and prescription drug intoxication. However, the circumstances surrounding her passing raised many questions among fans and media outlets. Her husband, Simon Monjack, died only a few months later in the same home under similar conditions, which intensified speculation about what might have happened. Some theories suggested environmental issues in the house, including possible mold exposure, while others suspected deeper mysteries. Authorities maintained that Murphy's death was due to natural causes complicated by medication. Despite the official findings, the tragedy remains one of the most puzzling and heartbreaking losses in modern Hollywood. Corey Haim. Corey Haim rose to fame in the 1980s as a teen idol starring in films like The Lost Boys. Alongside fellow actor Corey Feldman, he became one of the most recognizable young stars of the decade. However, Haim struggled for years with addiction and personal problems as his career declined. In March 2010, he was found dead in his California apartment at the age of 38. The official cause of death was ruled pneumonia, though the actor had a history of substance abuse that had damaged his health. His passing reignited discussions about the pressures placed on child stars and the darker side of the entertainment industry. Friends and fans mourned the loss of someone who had once been one of Hollywood's brightest young talents. Corey Haim's tragic story serves as a reminder of how fame at a young age can sometimes lead to devastating personal struggles later in life. Bob Crane. Bob Crane, best known for starring in the classic television series Hogan's Heroes, died in 1978 in one of Hollywood's most mysterious murder cases. The actor was found brutally beaten to death in his apartment in Scottsdale, Arizona. Investigators discovered that Crane had been involved in a secret lifestyle involving filming explicit encounters with women. Suspicion quickly focused on his friend John Henry Carpenter, who had often participated in Crane's activities and owned equipment similar to what was found at the crime scene. Carpenter was eventually charged with the murder decades later, but he was acquitted due to lack of evidence. As a result, the case technically remains unsolved. Bob Crane's shocking death exposed a hidden side of his life and remains one of the most disturbing unsolved mysteries connected to a Hollywood star. Sal Mineo. Sal Mineo became famous in the 1950s after starring alongside James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause. His performance earned him an Academy Award nomination and made him one of Hollywood's most promising young actors. However, his life ended tragically in 1976 when he was murdered outside his apartment in West Hollywood. Mineo had just returned home from rehearsals for a play when he was stabbed during what appeared to be a robbery attempt. The shocking crime terrified the local community and left fans devastated. Eventually, a man named Lionel Ray Williams was arrested and convicted for the killing. Mineo was only 37 years old at the time of his death. His murder remains one of the rare cases where a Hollywood actor was killed in a random act of street violence, cutting short the life of a talented performer. Rebecca Schaeffer. Rebecca Schaeffer was a rising television star best known for her role in the sitcom My Sister Sam. In 1989, her promising career was tragically cut short when she was murdered at just 21 years old. A fan named Robert John Bardo had become dangerously obsessed with the young actress and managed to obtain her home address through a private investigator. He traveled to Los Angeles and waited outside her apartment before fatally shooting her when she answered the door. The shocking crime led to major changes in privacy laws in the United States, particularly regarding access to personal information through motor vehicle records. Hollywood was deeply shaken by the tragedy, and Schaeffer's death remains one of the most disturbing examples of celebrity stalking turning deadly. Hollywood may look glamorous from the outside, bright lights, red carpets, and worldwide fame. But as we've seen, behind that glittering curtain lie stories filled with tragedy, mystery, and unanswered questions. From the shocking loss of Marilyn Monroe and Natalie Wood to the heartbreaking deaths of Brandon Lee, Anton Yelchin, and Rebecca Schaeffer, these stories remind us that fame does not protect anyone from danger, misfortune, or human struggles.